systems, so we are resolving it as Prabhuji is resolving it. Actually, I'm very happy to be here with all the devotees. सभी भक्तों का स्वागत है आज शाम के प्रोग्राम के लिए. Prabhupada actually, as I was coming for this center, coming for the first time, Prabhupada actually बोलते थे कि all our ISKCON temples should be in the middle of the city, not in the middle of forest. Many times devotees feel कि प्रभु जी सत्वगुणा we have to be, हमको सत्वगुण में होना है ना, रजगुण और तमगुण में नहीं होना. We want to be in सत्वगुणा. So naturally, forests are in the mode of goodness. City is in the mode of passion. Or city में there are some places which are in the mode of ignorance. So many devotees used to say, Prabhupada, we have found a big land. बहुत बड़ा जगह मिला है, लेकिन वो जंगल में. So Prabhupada would say that is also good. We need farm communities, but we want more ISKCON temples in the middle of the city. Why? Because more people live in the city than in the village. Right. So Mahaprabhu's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, it is like it goes to people who are most fallen, and most fallen people we can find in cities, not in the villages. Because anyone who's living in villages is already in the mode of goodness. They are also not disqualified; they are also qualified. But the focus is if we can make educated people, especially in India. India एक ऐसी जगह है, probably only country in the whole world where English is not a language only. English is status symbol also. Someone speaks English, अरे वाह, English बोलते हैं, फर्राटेदार English. That's what people say. So that's the reason I was very happy to find the middle of city terrace पे वो भी, सबके ऊपर terrace पे खुला एकदम, इतनी अच्छी हवा, इतनी अच्छी light. Most of the centers like आपने सुना होगा introduction में voice. तो voice क्या आपने सुना होगा? Voice is really we think is our voice. Basically voice का full form है Vedic Oasis for Inspiration, Culture, Education. तो जो भी प्रचार हम कॉलेज में करते हैं, कॉलेज में अगर हम ISKCON बोल के जाते हैं, तो कॉलेज की प्रिंसिपल बोलते हैं हरे कृष्ण. तो बताओ, वी डोंट वांट टू बी वेरी सेक्युलर, वी डोंट वांट टू बी पार्शियल टू एनी स्पेसिफिक रिलीजन. तो हमने बोला ठीक है, आपको ISKCON से प्रॉब्लम है ना, ठीक है ISKCON ही है, लेकिन नाम अलग है बस, वॉइस, वेदिक वॉइसेस. तो बच्चे भी खुश, प्रिंसिपल भी खुश, पेरेंट्स भी खुश, हम तो वैसे भी खुश. तो जो भी हमारा कॉलेज के पास जो भी सेंटर रहता था उसको वॉइस सेंटर बोलते. तो आरवी कॉलेज, उसका सेंटर आरवी वॉइस, पेसेट कॉलेज पेसेट वॉइस. तो जो भी हमारा सेंटर रहा है, एटलीस्ट मेरा जो किस्मत है, जिस सेंटर में मैं रहता था वो हमेशा अंधकार में रहता था. तो ऐसे कोई, क्योंकि हमें बहुत बड़ा टेम्पल हॉल चाहिए और कीर्तन करना है तो नेबर का प्रॉब्लम नहीं चाहिए, और अपार्टमेंट भी होगा तो ऊपर कंप्लेंट करेंगे. तो हम ऐसा वॉइस ढूंढते थे जहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम ना हो, लेकिन हमें मिलता है ऐसा वॉइस था जिसमें हमेशा अंधकार रहता था टेम्पल हॉल में कम से कम. लेकिन यहाँ पे तो पूरे टेरेस में ऐसा लगता है कि हम स्वर्ग में बैठे हैं, द हेवनली प्लैनेट्स, क्लोज टू द क्लाउड्स एंड एवरीथिंग. So thank you Prabhuji, Guru Gaurang Prabhu, for inviting me for this association of devotees. Before we start with today's session, we will start with the prayers. Magyanaatimirandasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Dvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakamitamscha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauratvishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So today we will be discussing, तो क्लास इंग्लिश और हिंदी का मिक्स होगा, तो कभी कभी ज़्यादा इंग्लिश हो सकता है, कभी कभी ज़्यादा हिंदी हो सकता है. Anyone who doesn't understand English at all, सबको इंग्लिश आता है. Anyone who doesn't understand Hindi at all, okay. So then in that case better to keep it more English than Hindi. Okay. We'll try to keep it in English as much as possible. So today's discussion is going to be on the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So in the third chapter, Krishna tells, actually, okay, let's see how the discussion begins. Kuji, where is also is there? Yeah. Can you just flip there? So we will discuss about this verse. You can repeat after me. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna uvacha. Jayasi chet karmanasте. Jayasi chet karmanasते. Mata buddhir janardana. Mata buddhir janardana. Tat kim karmani ghore. Tat kim karmani ghore. Mam niyojayasi keshava. Mam niyojayasi keshava. That's okay, then I'll just read the translation. So the translation says, Arjuna said, O Janardhan, O Keshav, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? So यहाँ पे what is happening here? This verse and next verse. So we'll related verse, then we'll discuss. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me तद एकम वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोयम आपनुयाम. My intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively which will be most beneficial for me. So what is happening here? How does Bhagavad Gita begin? Bhagavad Gita begins with Arjuna's simple confusion, and that's what we'll be discussing today. So most of us know the basics of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is a part of which book? Mahabharata. Okay. In Mahabharata there are two main parties, Kauravas and Pandavas. Kauravas are how many? 100. Pandavas are 5. So the kingdom on which the whole discussion is happening belongs to whom? Pandu. So Pandu was the father of Pandavas, but Pandu died. Pandavas were underage, minors. So naturally, as a caretaker, Pandu's brother Dhritarashtra became a surrogate king. He is not the king, he is a caretaker. Now Dhritarashtra had 100 children. Unfortunately, Dhritarashtra was blind, although he was elder brother. So Dhritarashtra had a desire to be the king, but he never became the king. And he thought, okay, now what to do? Life chala hua hai, mera bhai to acha hi hai, my brother is good, and he gives me all respect also. And he's staying in the forest. So at least I'm getting some proxy king role. But when Pandu dies, Dhritarashtra is made the king, or I would say proxy king. For him, he thinks he is the king. He gets a desire. I could not become the king, but my son can become the king. Duryodhana. And all Pandavas were in the forest. When Pandu dies, all of them come back to kingdom. Now there is a conflict. Who will be the king? Because Duryodhana was raised saying that I will be the king, I will be the king. Everyone is saying that Are aap hi banne wale ho Raja, aap hi banne wale ho Raja. And one fine day, our Pandus, especially Yudhishthir, who is few days elder to him, comes. And now he is feeling insecure. And then lot of pastimes happen, lot of ways Duryodhana tries to destroy our Pandavas. And that has culminated in this Kurukshetra war. Now, when Arjuna is coming to the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he is coming as a Kshatriya. I am supposed to fight this war, Because I want to get a kingdom. Why? To enjoy it. No. So they can take care of the praja. He is a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas don't do job. They can't give CV to some IT company and take job. They cannot do begging also. They have to have a kingdom which they try to protect with their life. So which means if there is a war to the kingdom, the Kshatriyas, they will be leading in the front. Not sitting in some underground bunker and giving instructions. Their life is safe and they are sacrificing lives of soldiers. They have to be on the battlefield. And because they are ready to fight like that, they are given tax. So Kshatriyas can collect tax. Through that tax, they make sure the entire kingdom is taken care of and their palace also is taken care of. Their maintenance also is done. So Brahmanas, they take charity. Bhikshandehi, you might have heard, seen many times in movies and serials. Bhikshandehi. Kshatriyas take tax. Right? And Vaishyas do business. And Shudras, they assist all the three. They are the ones who get salary, according to the Vedic system. So here, Arjuna cannot do the role as a Kshatriya. His role is to rule a land and then collect tax. That's why when Krishna went as peace messenger, he told Dhritarashtra, okay, forget about the whole kingdom. Give me 5 villages, 1 for each Pandavas. They'll take care of the village, they'll get some tax. In a humble way, they'll try to do their duty. But Duryodhana said that I won't even give the land which can be taken by the tip of the needle. Then Krishna said, war is inevitable. Now Arjuna is coming on the battlefield as Kshatriya. I am a Kshatriya, I have to fight. He comes there, and after coming there, he tells Krishna, take me on the, I want to see, take me to the middle of the battlefield. What Krishna does? He takes him to the middle, but right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Krishna knows these are his favorite, dear grandfather and teacher. If Krishna, many times there was a court case on ISKCON in Russia. They said that these ISKCON Hare Krishna people are distributing too many Bhagavad Gita. What is Bhagavad Gita? One warrior is there. He said, I don't want to fight. Then when Krishna is there, he speaks to him for 45 minutes and then the warrior says, I want to fight. So Bhagavad Gita is a book of violence. And ban Bhagavad Gita. Ban Bhagavad Gita, ban ISKCON. That was the main court case. So this happened 10 years back, 2016. So I was traveling in one train in Yatra in India. So that time I got the news that ISKCON has won the case. Because when they were reading the book, they realized, my God, there is such deep philosophical discussion. Even the lawyers, judges couldn't understand what is happening. They said, yeah, whatever, something is there in this, something interesting, something very deep, not just superficial, we reject the case. So if Krishna really wanted to inspire Arjuna to fight, all Krishna had to do was take the chariot in front of Duryodhana and Dushasana. The moment Arjuna would see Duryodhana and Dushasana, his blood would boil. Oh, these are the people who tried to kill Bhima. These are the people who tried to disrobe my wife in public. These are the people because of whom we went to forest for 14 years. These are the people who tried to burn us in a house alive. Right? But Krishna doesn't do that. Krishna takes him in front of Bhishma and Dronacharya. Why? Because Krishna wants to set a stage so that years later all of us here can learn and discuss this principle. The moment he takes in front of Duryodhana and Bhishma, Arjuna suddenly realizes, I came here as a Kshatriya, but I have another duty also. So my main duty was Kshatriya Dharma, because of which I am doing here. But I also have Kula Dharma. According to Kula Dharma, I am supposed to protect my relatives, respect my relatives. And my relatives are standing on the other side. Bhishma is there, Drona is there. Okay, even my brothers, whatever they are, the Kauravas, they are my brothers only. So, and Kripacharya is there. And so many other warriors are there on the other side. So now there is a conflict. The confusion here is, if I fight, then I am doing my Kshatriya Dharma, but not my Kula Dharma. My Kula is destroyed. And if I don't fight, then my Kshatriya Dharma is gone. Even if, say for example, Arjuna is very confident, I will not fight. Will he convince Yudhishthira and Bhima not to fight? The war will anyway happen without him. Now because Arjuna is not there, more people will die on the Pandavas. Okay, chalo, let's one more scenario. Arjuna convinces Yudhishthira and Bhima also. And Bhishma convinces Duryodhana also. Leave them, it's okay. But Duryodhana knows who all supported, stood on the side of Pandavas. And Duryodhana will chun chun ke badla, as they say in Indian, chun chun ke badla lega. He'll go and attack them and he'll destroy them. And then more people will die. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, when you see all this, you will not be able to tolerate. The only option for you is to fight. Thank you, Bruji. So Arjuna's main confusion. So what Arjuna thinks? Kula Dharma versus Kshatriya Dharma. Kula Dharma, don't fight. That's what Kula Dharma says. Which according to him, it is inaction. Don't do action. Kshatriya Dharma says fight, which means action. So Arjuna feels confusion that I have choice between inaction and action. So what Krishna does, Krishna is an expert teacher. So who is an expert teacher? Expert teacher does two things. Expert teacher shows what looks very simple is actually complicated. Right? Like for example, Newton was sitting under a tree and apple fell on his head. That's a simple thing. But then teacher explains, if you go to physics class, he will explain that what does it mean. Then the whole gravity, three laws of Newton's three laws we learned and many other things. Similarly, one role of teacher is to make things complicated. You think it is simple, but actually it is not simple, it is complicated. And second role of a teacher is to make things simple after making it complicated. Imagine if student is sitting, teacher explains very complicated thing and then leaves it there. Teacher will be scratching, the student will be scratching his head. I am more confused than before coming to this class. So both things are Krishna does. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjun, you think you have only two choices, action and inaction. But actually there are 6 choices, not just 2. What are the 6? One choice is vikarma. Okay? For sure, vikarma means sinful action. So if you say karma is the main topic, then among that is first is vikarma. Krishna doesn't have to tell Arjuna don't do vikarma. Why? Because Arjuna himself says, Papam eva shre dasmin atvaitana atataya. If I kill my relatives, I will get papa. Sin. So Arjuna himself is rejecting that vikarma to nahi karna. In course of discussion, the second chapter, there is a 10 shlokas in which Krishna explains to Arjuna there is something called as sakarma. What is sakarma? It is attached action. Asakti ke saath karma karna. Which means I want to enjoy the results of my action. Most 99% of the people on the world fall in this category. Why do we study? Why do we give IIT JEE exam? I love problem solving. No. After that, the result, AIR that comes, All India rank. And from that, when I get into an IIT or NIT, and then from there, when I get the 20, 30, 50, 60, 1.5 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore package, that is the fruit. Uske liye, from 5th standard, we are struggling. Foundation for IIT, and then IIT coaching, and then after 11th and 12th, and then finally, hopefully, we'll get it. Right? So that is where attached action lies. And Krishna tells, right, the verse 2.32, Yatracha chopapannam swargadvaram apavratam sukhena kshatriya partha labante yudhavidadesham. Arjuna, you do your kshatriya duty even if you die on the battlefield. Because you are dying for doing your duty as a selfless cause, you will go to heaven. That is attached action. Then Krishna says, akarma. That is detached action. Karmannevadikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. This is a very famous verse, and most people stop there only. Karmannevadikaraste. Some people stop there itself. Karmannevadikaraste. Uske baad kya? Mafaleshu kadachana. Uske baad? Ma karma phala heturbur mate sangosta karma. So whole verse we should know. What is the meaning of Karmannevadikaraste? You have the adhikar to do karma, your duty. Ma phaleshu kadachana. No adhikar for, ma means no. No adhikar for results. We discuss about that in the next verse, next slide. Ma karma phala heturgur. Never think that I am responsible for this action, the result that has come. Fourth one, mate sangosto karmani. Because you have no entitlement to the results, don't say, why should I do work only? So, Rajaguna, Sattaguna, Tamaguna, everything is addressed here. Rajaguna means, I want fruits. Krishna says, no, don't go for fruits. Okay, I should not go for fruits, right? I want to work only. No, don't do that also. You have to work at the same time. Don't aspire for the fruits. This is action. Then Krishna says, there are 3 types of inaction also. First type of inaction is don't do any action. Sit simply. Go to Himalayas and sit simply. Krishna says, no, that is not possible. Nahi kaschik kshanamapi jatu tishtanta karmakrit karyate avashyak karma sarva prakriti jayate. Not a minute can go by until you do an activity. The reason, all souls are impelled by the three modes of nature to do their action. So what is Arjuna telling to Krishna? Krishna, better I go. There is a verse which says, I better to beg than enjoy the kingdom stained by the blood of Bhishma and Drona. Second chapter it says. Krishna is telling you, Arjuna, you may drop everything and go to forest. You become a sadhu, sannyasi. How does sannyasi get the sustenance? By begging. You go to a person and say, Bhikshan dehi. That person says, nahi dunga. Because beggars can't be choosers. Right? He'll tell, nahi dunga. Well, you are not a Kshatriya, you are not a sadhu by the way. You are a Kshatriya. You have a Rajoguna in you. You will take the sword. Sannyasi are not supposed to harm anyone. If someone says, go, nahi dunga, get lost, sannyasi is supposed to move on. There was one sadhu who would go from door to door. This is in like the days where there was no technology and everything. At least the material technology. So he would go door to door. He came to one lady's home and said, Bhikshan dehi. She heard 2-3 times. She neglected him, but then she could not control. She became very angry. She came outside the door and said, what do you want? My dear mother, can you give me something to eat? She says she was so angry for whatever reason. She goes into the kitchen. They had the stove, the wooden stove. So all the wood had become ash after he cooked. She takes a handful of ash, goes to him and puts him in his jhola. Take, you wanted something, right? I gave you. So the beggar says, thank you very much, my dear mother. I'll come tomorrow also. So she says, what? Why will you come tomorrow? You saw it what I gave today. He says, I've been coming here from 3 weeks. So 3 weeks I've been asking, Bhikshan dehi. Today finally you gave something. So today you gave ash. Who knows, tomorrow you may give me cash also. Right? So we never know. So a sadhu can never demand or command. If someone surrenders to him, he can give instructions. But sadhu can demand it. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you cannot live without doing action. So forget about sitting simply and not doing any action. Nobody can do it. So this is out of the question. Second is false renunciation. So Bhagavad Gita 3.6. It says, Karmendriyani sayyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mityachara sucha. So one is a brahmachari who is genuinely trying to control his mind and senses. That's the reason when devotees wear saffron. Basically it is a message to the people of the world. He is seriously dedicated into something, don't disturb. Like for example, we work in the companies, right? And then we have team dinner, team party, team dinner and everything. So there people come and expect also. One devotee was asking me, Prabhuji, 4 team dinners I missed. 5th one, if I don't miss, I'm afraid that I'll be demoted. My manager is very angry with me, what to do? So similarly, no team dinner will be called for brahmacharis. Brahmacharis get invitation for what? Marriage is there, Prabhuji, please come and bless. Or Prabhuji, I got a new car, please drive a little bit and then bless the car. I've been asking devotees to that also. Prabhuji, new laptop, I want to do some typing Hare Krishna so that I can spiritualize it. So false renunciation means what? A person has taken the dress of a brahmachari, sannyasi especially, and mentally he is contemplating on sense gratification. Karmendriyani sayyamya ya asthe manasasmaran. The mind is still contemplating. Right? Indriyarthan on what? Indriya artha, the objects of senses. Such a person is mityachari. So that's why in vairagya also there are different types of vairagya. One is smashan vairagya. Someone dies, we go all the way to smashan, the body is burnt, and suddenly there is a renunciation. Are kal tak theek tha. He is so young and he has so much property. Ultimately everything has to go into ash. Vairagya comes, detachment comes. Only till you come home and switch on the TV. Nowadays not even TV, smartphone. Right. That is smashan vairagya. Second is markata vairagya. Person just like generally vairagya means sannyasi goes to forest. But in the forest monkeys also live. Right. Monkeys are more renounced than sadhu also. Monkeys don't wear clothes also. But one monkey will have 10 or 12 dozen, 1 or 2 dozen monkey girlfriends. What is the use of that kind of renunciation? So there are some sadhus who may take renunciation but still indulge in sense gratification. That is called as Markata Vairagya. One more is Falgu Vairagya. Same, false renunciation. Apparently there is one river in Falgu river, which looks like it is stagnant, but actually if you put your hand inside, it is flowing inside. Under the sand, the water is flowing. So all these are example of false renunciation. So Krishna is telling that one danger is you may try to genuinely be renounced, but then your modes, the Rajoguna will push you to become aggressive again. Second danger is in the process of becoming a brahmachari or sannyasi, you will become a mithyachari. That is 3.6. And finally he says true renunciation. Agneyasa nitya sannyasi yeno dveshti nagakshati nirdvandvoi mahabhav sukham bandhat pramuchyate. A sannyasi is one who sees happiness, distress, man, apaman, a bad person and a good person equally. So Krishna is asking Arjuna, can you see Yudhishthira and Duryodhana equally? If you can, take sannyas. Right? So if you can't, then you are not fit for sannyas. So what is, after explaining the 6 things, what Krishna says? Inaction, no, not possible, out. False renunciation, please, I don't want you to be a mithyachari. True renunciation is possible, star is there, but red star. It is not possible for you. You are a Kshatriya, you are a warrior. Sinful reactions, Arjuna himself has said, I don't want to do. Papa meva shraye. Sakarma, Krishna says, it is okay, better than doing vikarma and mithyachari and everything, but it is not recommended for you. So Krishna explains this and then says, I will tell you something even better. And that is detached action. So I think this has been a little philosophical so far. Shloka, this, that, and this, understanding and everything. This is important for us to understand, because many times if you have superficial understanding of scriptures, then tomorrow when people ask us what actually happening in Bhagavad Gita, why so much discussion about Bhagavad Gita? Are a fight or not fight? Finish? No, it is not that simple. It is complicated. It has 6 nuances. And why did I show that no and everything? Krishna is basically simplifying it now. Krishna is saying of the 6 options you can do 3. 1, true renunciation, which you don't have because you can't see Duryodhana and Yudhishthira on the same platform. Achha, you can do sakama karma, sakarma, activities with a desire to become happy. Right? That is also fine. But the best is karmanyeva adhikaraste mahaleshu. So with this understanding, let us now go into, so this is what is happening to Arjuna. Okay, and Arjuna finally chooses the first one. So now we will see how does it matter to us. We are not fighting a battle, no? We are not in this situation. We have to kill our relatives or do our Kshatriya Dharma and everything. We are living in 2025, 5000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra has happened. Right? So how does it matter to us? So in scriptures there are 2 types of knowledge. One is a timely knowledge, one is timeless knowledge. Timely knowledge means what? Say for example, at that time when the Kurukshetra or that phase was going on, the knowledge which was valued the most was archery. For Kshatriya example, the skill maximum was archery or mace fighting, gada and everything. Today, what is the skill that is valued the most? If you are a prompt engineer, AI engineer, prompt engineer. Apparently now in many of the countries, recently one of the CEO of a company mentioned, plumber in US is earning more than an engineer, because less and less people are doing that job, no? So less people are doing the job and everyone's home plumbing will be there, some or the other problem. So then he'll be in more demand. So the skills, that keeps changing. That time some archery was there, today something is different. But the knowledge given in the scripture which are timeless, which means that time also it was relevant, now also it is relevant. Forget about spiritual knowledge. When did the apple fall on Newton? 500 years back, 1600 something. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami he was there in London that time. Isaac Newton. He discovered the laws of nature. Before that, where was apple falling? Down. After that also it is falling down. He discovered it and he gave a name to it. Like Newton's law, he discovered it. He was smart enough. Similarly, Vedic scriptures existed. So the knowledge mentioned in the scripture existed that time also, applicable now also. So today we will see how does the karma work. You might have heard this, and probably many of us have also attended the Prabhuji's class, and Prabhuji's class I had attended some time back in ISKCON Sarjapur and the previous center, the old center. Prabhuji had giving class on Chatushloki Bhagavatam, if I am not wrong.
Yes.
So my God, it was such nuance, so much subtleties. So it was really amazing class to hear. So Prabhuji might have already given some sessions on how does karma work, on what is the law of karma. In a simple phrase, if you have to put it in one line, what is law of karma? Yes, Mataji. Newton's third. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. So you do some action now, you get result. For example, I am thirsty. I tell Prabhuji, I am a little thirsty, can you give me some water? So Prabhuji gets what Prabhuji has already brought here. So the glass is here. I am feeling thirsty. What is the action? I take it, put it in my mouth. My thirst is quenched. That is the reaction. That is the result. But sometimes this mathematics may not work. All of us may have experience in our life. We do some action and the result is totally different. Sometimes we put lot of efforts, hardly any result. Or ulta, opposite result. As I said, neki kar darya mein dal. There is one more. No good deed goes unpunished. You try to do good deed and you get a bad reaction for that. Acha karne gaya tha and then you got gali for that. So you do lot of hard work and little bit of result. And sometimes you do little bit of hard work and you get full result. You join a project just in the phase of completion. And you do little bit of hard work and the project got completed and your name also is there. So and so, long list of people. Thank you, congratulations for their part. Like there was one cricket World Cup in which there was one person, 11 players are there in cricket. I don't watch cricket much. 11 players are there. And one of the players never even went to the ground to play. And his team won. His photo is there in every banner. Congratulations, Team India. He didn't do anything for the match. His name is there. So some fame was supposed to get from the previous life, good karma he was there. He was just happened to be part of a good team. And sometimes we put lot of efforts and hardly any results. Okay, before we go to that. So what is happening here? Present action plus something is coming from the past. Combination of the two gives us the result. So when Krishna says, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, Krishna is saying, don't fixate on the result. The reason is, this math doesn't work all the time. If it was working all the time, okay, be attached to result. You do some hard work and you get result. Like I drank this water, I quenched my thirst. There is one more character in the Srimad Bhagavatam who was thirsty for water. He tried to quench that water. In return, he got cursed to die in 7 days. Who was that? Parikshit Maharaj. He was thirsty. He just wanted a glass of water. He went to one sage. He was in trance. Misunderstanding. Both are great souls, by the way. Some misunderstanding happened, and then he became angry. He put a dead snake around his, not a living snake, dead snake. He went home, and on the way also he felt, what did I do? Why did I do such a bad thing? There, his son saw Shringi. So Samyak Rishi's son. And he said, whoever put dead snake around my father's neck, let him die in 7 days. And interestingly, one devotee was telling, why did he say 7 days? Why not immediately? Why give 7 days now? Because he knew that it is a king. And king's greatest gratification is control. So let him feel helpless for 7 days. I want him to suffer the pain of helplessness for 7 days, then die. So that was a very vicious kind of a curse, given for a very simple mistake, isn't it? So we may sometimes feel, like many times, sometimes we plan things out and things work according to the plan. We feel that's a natural state. If you plan something and without any headache, if you are able to achieve what you wanted to plan, that is an exception. Which means lot of things fell in place because of which things worked out. Like most of us plan every day. Today also Sunday is there. We came for this program. Class will go for half an hour more. Prasad is there after this? Prasad is, of course. Eating without, there is a Prabhupada's quote on this. Meeting without eating is cheating. So after every program we have this prasad. So we have our plan that we will take prasad and then we'll go back to our home and then we'll plan for tomorrow, Monday, working day again and everything. But because every Sunday it's working like that, we assume that it will happen for all other Sundays in the future. Right? Imagine those 200 people who sat in that Air India plane. they thought, okay, I will reach London in 48 hours. And then after that this, and after that visa, and after that I have to go for a job. But things had different plan. Imagine the student in that medical college who went for lunch. He was eating his dosa and idli or whatever, the dal bati or Gujarat, right? And then suddenly on his head the plane falls. Isn't it? So many times this mathematics doesn't work. That's why for our own peace of mind, Krishna is saying, focus on present action. Because that is in your control. पिछले background से क्या आने वाला है? We don't know. Because of that, the result also, we don't know. One devotee, he was preaching in Australia. So after the class was over, one person came to me and said, sir, have you heard of Midas touch? So Midas touch is a phrase. It's actually a person called Midas in Greek tradition. Whatever you touch, it will become gold. So Midas touch is used in today's day if person is very lucky. He starts a startup, successful till IPO. Then second company, successful till IPO. They are called as prodigy. They are like whatever they touch becomes gold. They are expert in everything. He said, Prabhuji, I think I am going to reverse Midas touch. Whatever touching is burning to ash. I joined a project became flop. I invested in a company was growing very nicely. I put some money in it in stock market. Company went bankrupt. Right. So I bought a new car. Some person came and scratched it and went. I think I'm going through. I am having reverse Midas touch. Our Prabhu told him, see, right now what is happening? Whatever your present action is there, some bad phase of bad past karma is coming in your life. Right. So don't think that. Don't be so proud that I have the power to destroy a company just by investing in it, and we are not so powerful also. So some past karmas, bad action, reactions are coming. That's why this combination, 1% maybe for whatever 100% result we get, maybe 1%. So for example, I put 100 unit of present action, but from past karma minus 90 is coming. How much result I will get? 10. How much was I expecting? $100. Similarly, I put 10 action in the present action, but from my past plus 90 is coming. How much will I get? 100, isn't it? We call it luck, whatever you want to call it. So this, because of this, what happens? This karma that is there, it's like a cloud hovering overhead. When we are born, a major chunk of our karma is given to us. Where we are born, the financial condition of the family. Do we have all body parts working fine? Because many children are born with handicap, cerebral palsy, whatnot, right? And which social structure are we born? Are we born in Iraq and Iran? Or are we born in Pakistan? Or are we born in India? Or are we born in Sweden? Or are we born in... So all this math, or the skin color, the beauty that we have, right? Male or female, all that is decided, big chunk comes at the time of birth. And then throughout our life, at various phases, the karma installment starts coming at different phases of our life. And that is the reason, because Krishna himself says, Gahana karmano gatihi. Karma is very complicated to understand. So don't try to do the math, don't go into analysis of, Prabhuji, yesterday I slipped and fell. Which karma might have this reaction for? Right. So it's very difficult to understand that mathematics. So Krishna is saying, don't go into that. Focus on your present karma. So the conclusion of this whole discussion so far is, our actions matter, even if they don't seem to matter. Which means, if in some life I had done some karma and I am suffering the reactions for it now, if I do the right choices now, in the future, the reactions are definitely going to come in a positive way. So that is the whole idea of karma. Many times, when we get the knowledge of karma, because our false ego is not purified, we tend to weaponize everything, even the knowledge of karma. How do we weaponize? Now we know, okay, if someone is suffering in this life, that means it has come from the previous life's past karma, bad karma. So when we see someone suffering, how we try to explain it to ourselves? Kuch kiya hoga paap, bhugto hogi, move on. Isn't it? Some beggar is coming, asking for money and something. Then why should I give you money? You did something in the past life, you suffer. So that is not the understanding application of karma. In our life, something happens, we try to explain it to us. But we don't use the law of karma as a weapon to judge others. That's right. So karma is always forward looking, not backward looking. That's why I told him, when slip and fell, Prabhuji, which karma I did, because of which I got. Prabhupada was hit by a bull, you know that? Prabhupada was distributing backward magazines in Delhi before ISKCON. Evening time he was distributing, one bull comes and hits him. and it's a full somersault. Prabhupada falls on the ground and bull moves on. Prabhupada explains this, like it's there in Lilamrit. But Prabhupada never goes into analysis. Why that bull came and hit me, and doesn't keep vengeance also. No, cows are good, cows should be good. Bulls are not good, bulls should not be protected. He doesn't say that because one bull hit me in the past. Prabhupada could not explain that, but that doesn't mean he stopped doing the right thing. So our actions matter even if they don't seem to. Now, let us see 4 cases. Okay, based on this mathematics that we have, present action plus past action is equal to result. Let us take 4 cases. Our past good karma is very good. Our past karma is bad. Present karma is bad and present karma is good. Present action which we are doing is good. Now, if present karma is good, we are doing something good. Okay? Say for example, we start a company. Startup should be. And our past karma is also very good. Then we will be successful. Right? So when such things happen in our life, we are very effective in whatever we do. Right? We become successful, and as they say, success has many fathers, failure has orphan. Right? When someone fails, no one says, I'll take responsibility. And success comes, everyone says, maine bola tha, maine kiya tha, mera vision, this, that and everything. So we become very effective in our life. Example for this is the Pandavas. After the war. See, Pandavas, and one more example I'll give, they are pure devotees. What actually happens in devotees case, or when we take to Krishna consciousness, when pure devotees take to Krishna consciousness, the mathematics is different. It doesn't work by that present karma plus past karma is equal to result. There is something else happens which we will discuss after this slide. So for our understanding, because Mahabharata explains them from a lesson teaching perspective, Pandavas after the war got over, they were successful, they won the war also, they paid a heavy price, no doubt. A lot of people died, their children also died, Abhimanyu died, but they paid the price and they were successful. What if our present karma is good, but past karma is not good yet? In Mahabharata, that example is given of Vidura. Again, Vidura is a pure devotee. Right? But here if you say what is happening, Vidura is trying his best to convince Dhritarashtra, do the right thing, do the right thing, do the right thing. But no effect, no result. Absolutely no result. In fact, when Duryodhana was born, that time there were many apashakunas, bad omens. So Vidura goes and tells Dhritarashtra, this child is not good for you, please give it up. Dhritarashtra says, what are you talking about? Just because of some bad omens I'm supposed to, and great difficulty at that child. Right. So, and Vidura is not telling kill it. Right. Vidura is telling give it to like Karna was born. Karna was raised by someone else. But the main reason why it was, those people who don't have inner power, sense control or mind control, if they are given external power, then they can do a lot of damage. So put him in a situation where he doesn't have external power. Worst case, he'll make his future dark. But if you make him a king, like we have dictators in the world, they had no sense control or whatever, they felt they had a lot of ego, I am supreme and everyone should listen to me. So then they were made Hitler and then Stalin and so many are there, the dictators. So Vidura, so then Dhritarashtra didn't listen. Understandable, okay, no problem. But then after that, so many phases when Duryodhana was planning to poison Bhima, when Duryodhana was planning to burn Pandavas in the Lakshagraha, when Duryodhana was planning the gambling match, all these times Vidura gave good advice, and in fact Dhritarashtra sent Vidura to invite Yudhishthira to come into the gambling match, because he knew Yudhishthira had taken a vow, silent vow, after the Rajasuya sacrifice. Many people ask this question, why Yudhishthira is gambling? And people may take wrong examples also. Yudhishthira is gambling, so why should I not gamble? Dream 11, let me go and do that. But the actual understanding is, Yudhishthira, after the Rajasuya sacrifice, Khandavidya, before the whole gambling match, he went to Vedavyas and said that, please bless me, that there can be peace and prosperity in the kingdom. Vyasdev says that there is going to be a very great war. After the war, there will be peace. Yudhishthira thinks that why does war happen? War happens when there is conflict between two people and both of them reject authority. Like for example, there is a conflict between me and one person. We both are fighting. We go to court. and court says, okay, this decision is based on is on the favor of the other guy. I have to accept it. Supreme Court has said. So then I accept the authority. What happens when I don't accept the authority? And then I go and kill that person or whatever, and then make my future dark. So Yudhishthir says, because of rejecting authority, what happens, right? I don't want war to happen. I will always accept authority. And for me, authority is Dhritarashtra. Unfortunately, the judge, Dhritarashtra himself was biased. So Dhritarashtra invites Yudhishthir to come for gambling match through Vidura. So two seniors, two elders of Yudhishthir are calling for gambling match. He thought maybe they have some good intentions. Maybe they will stop. Maybe they will intervene. That was the desire of, that was the hope of Yudhishthir. But that did not happen. So Vidura tried again and again and again and again. But materially, he was not successful. Finally, see that this is what I'm saying. Our actions do matter even if they don't seem to matter. All that investment which he did in Dhritarashtra for so many years became successful when the 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Vidura comes back after the Kurukshetra war is over and heavily chastises Dhritarashtra. He says, don't you have any shame? You are living in the house, so-called king, and living at the mercy of the people whom you tried to kill. You are eating the roti thrown by Bhima, the very person whom you wanted to kill. So those words are so harsh. Generally, when we speak good things to people, they accept. And when we harshly chastise people, they go away. Here, ulta happened. For whole life, Yudhishthira was trying to pacify, please, explain to Dhritarashtra. He was not listening. Now, harshly used the words, but because decades of good investment was there, Dhritarashtra said, yes, I quit. I'll go to forest and take sannyas. So that is the case of Vidura. So this is the phase where most of the people, they may feel depressed. Prabhuji, अच्छा करने जा रहा हूँ, फिर भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. Nothing is working out. Why should I be good? When people ask this question, everyone is a dhokebaz, everyone is 420. To live in this world, we have to do bad activities. That's why many times people make it into the reason because they are wanting to be good, but their past karma is not good. Bad reactions are coming. Someone's past is bad and present actions also are bad. This is an example of Ashwatthama, where Ashwatthama, he was a good person. He was a son of the Dronacharya, and Dronacharya happened to serve the Kuru dynasty. So in the battle of Kurukshetra, there was one particular day when they decided that we have to attack Dronacharya. Dronacharya is going out of control. A day before that, Dronacharya had killed Drupada and his brother, who was the father of Drishtadyumna. Drishtadyumna was born to kill Drupada. So what Arjuna and Pandavas were thinking, Dronacharya can be captured or attacked only when he goes into trance. He will go into trance only if he hears the bad news that Ashwatthama is dead. So their plan, Krishna tells it to Yudhishthira, you tell loudly, Ashwatthama has died. Atogata, Ashwatthama Atogata. Right. And then listening to that, Dronacharya will be in full trauma and then he will go into trance and that time will capture him out. Yudhishthira says, how can I say lie? I can tell lie. Bhima says, I will tell. Krishna says, you tell, Dronacharya will not believe. We want Yudhishthira Maharaj. And then the whole pastime happens, I will not get into the details. Yudhishthira says, and then Dronacharya hears it, he goes into trance. Their plan was, when Dronacharya is in trance, we'll capture Dronacharya, keep him under house arrest until the war is over. Then we'll release him. So, no harm done to Dronacharya also, and we won the battle also. So when Dronacharya is sitting in the trance, just near him was Drishtadyumna. He remembers, yesterday my father was killed and my uncle was killed. My purpose of my life is to kill this person. Why should I wait? This is a perfect opportunity. Arjuna was standing a little far. So Drishtadyumna goes, he holds the Dronacharya by his hair, and as he is doing it, Arjuna is screaming and yelling. Pandavas are yelling, stop, don't do it, don't do it. But he does it. Right. And everyone, that war was going on, everyone starts running away, seeing what has happened. You have killed your guru. Ramana has been killed. And all the Arjuna wanted to kill Drishtadyumna only. Somehow Bhima came and Arjuna came, Krishna came and pacified him. So when this whole thing was happening, Ashwatthama was not in the picture. He was not there. He didn't see any of this. He was busy somewhere else fighting. when the whole chaos happened, people are running away from the battlefield saying that this is a sinful place, this is no longer Dharma Yuddha, Guru has been killed. When he's running away, Ashwatthama comes. He meets Duryodhana. And Duryodhana tells the story as if Pandavas viciously killed Dronacharya, like how Abhimanyu was killed. So listening to that, Ashwatthama goes, he loses all faith in these Pandavas. This is not a Dharma Yuddha anymore, they are othernis. So that is the first time he gets hurt. And because of that, he tries to win the war, but because his past karma is not good, he doesn't succeed. And he doesn't stop there. He says, oh, I could not win the war in the right way, I will start doing the wrong way. War is over, Pandavas are sleeping in the tent, I will go in the night, in sleep I will kill them. So that itself is sinful. In the process, rather than killing Pandavas, he kills 5 Pandavas' children. That is even worse. And after killing them, he brings their head to, he doesn't know, he brings their head to Duryodhana. Duryodhana is lying down, his thighs are broken, he is about to die in few minutes. Duryodhana says, thank you, finally I have killed the 5 Pandavas. He takes the head and he crushes it, it breaks very easily. Duryodhana says, absolutely not, this is not Pandavas. Their heads will not crack like this. You fool, you have killed Pandavas' children. Shame on you, fire on you. He blasts Ashwatthama. One person Ashwatthama tried to please. Father is invaded. I thought Shabashi Dega, Duryodhana. Duryodhana was further cursing him. Why? He said, my whole generation is gone. Kauravas are finished. Our whole children also are dead. Pandavas' children were the only next generation for the Kuru dynasty, which is my dynasty. You killed them also. Hell on you, fire on you. He curses and he goes to die. He dies. Then Ashwatthama feels, this entire Kuru race itself is useless. My father, the day he went and served these Kuru people, that was a cursed day. This race doesn't deserve to live on. So then he goes to one more mistake and says, let me kill the child who's in the womb of Uttara, Abhimanyu's son. And then he releases Brahmastra. Mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. This is an example of self-destruction. Right? Where when Abhimanyu dies, Arjuna is full. Many people ask, Prabhupada was asked, if Arjuna really heard Bhagavad Gita, why does Arjuna cry when Abhimanyu died? If he becomes Siddha Pragya, he will not cry. And Krishna says, Dehi Musmanita Dehi Kaumaram Nivaram Jara Tada Deyantara Prabhirastram Muyati. You are not supposed to be disturbed. One person came to a sadhu and said, I want to take sannyas. And sadhu says, why you want to take sannyas? He said, my wife died and I didn't cry a single tear. See how detached I am. Sadhu says, you go and get married again. He says, why? He says, a sadhu is supposed to cry for the whole world. You can't cry for your wife, then how will you cry for the whole world? Out of compassion. So Prabhupada has asked this question. If Abhimanyu died, why did Krishna cry? So Prabhupada says that becoming a devotee doesn't mean that you become stone hard. You still have feelings for a person. You will not be able to see that. And Abhimanyu died in a painful way. 16-year-old, it's unnatural death. Recently I went to one of my relatives' death. He was 86 years old, Parkinson's disease. Full life he had lived. Still when he died, everyone near and dear crying, and it was the most natural death. Full life he lived and very pious life. I was thinking, imagine someone dying unnatural death. How much more painful that will be. See, a father dying is painful for the child. But in front of the father, if child dies, that's extremely painful. Right? So, that was the case of Ashwatthama. Where, so when Abhimanyu dies, Krishna is actually, Arjuna becomes first, he curses himself. Definitely Abhimanyu would have remembered me when he was in pain. But I was busy seeking glory for myself. And then first it feels guilty, and then he feels anger. He says, what are your weapons? He tells to Bhima and Bhishma and, Yudhishthira and Bhima. Your weapons are ornaments. Could one of you not save my son? Right? He curses them also. And it hurts Yudhishthira and Bhima. And then Krishna comes there. And Arjuna looks at Krishna also. Krishna, you definitely knew, right? You tell in Bhagavad Gita, 13 days back you told in Bhagavad Gita, Vartamana Nicharjan, Bhavishya Nichabhutani, Mamtu Vejana Krishna, I know past, present and future. You definitely knew Abhimanyu was in danger. Why didn't you tell me? Then Krishna doesn't do philosophy there. And Krishna doesn't curse Arjuna also. He doesn't say, which person I gave Bhagavad Gita, Baba? I should have given someone else. What is this? He's getting carried away by emotions. Krishna tells, oh Partha, everyone in this world faces setbacks. The wise people and unwise people. The difference between them is wise people act in a way to minimize damage or make things better, Unwise people act in a way which makes things worse. This is an example for that. Ashwatthama. Acting in a way which made things worse. Fortunately, although his actions were terrible, but because he's an example of a misunderstanding case, he was misunderstood and then things happened, there is still hope for a person like Ashwatthama. Scriptures say that in the next Yuga, the Satya Yuga, Dwapara, Treta, Kali Yuga, the next cycle, Ashwatthama is going to be Vedavyas. Correct, everybody? If I'm not wrong. Maybe I have to confirm it. He is going to be the Vedavyas in the next cycle. Someone may say, Arey Babra, how this kind of a person becomes Vedavyas? Right. So that is the beauty of Krishna's creation. Nobody is a hopeless case. Everybody has hope. Right? That is self-destruction. Now imagine someone has past good karma and currently is doing bad karma. Which means what? Say for example, someone wants to rob a bank. 10 people decide we want to rob the bank. Now robbing bank is a karma. It's a vikarma definitely. But still it's an activity. It's a plan. They make a plan and everything. And out of 10, only one person can become successful. Why? Because remaining 9 people don't have the good karma to do the bad karma. Which means even to become successful in your bad karma, you need some good karma. Right? Of course, you become successful, now you have to suffer further bad karma for that. But that's why if you see, there may be a person who may feel that I want to become underworld dog. And then he does some daka, killing the minister and everything, and he becomes Khawfnak. So he became successful in his plan. This means he has some good karma from the past. There may be another guy, I want to be underworld don. He goes to kill someone, police catches him, he's in jail for next 40 years. Because he doesn't have the good karma to be underworld don or whatever. This is an example of Duryodhana. Presently he is in royal kingdom. And somehow his cousins, they are such big-hearted people, they are saying, give us 5 villages. 5 villages, remaining the whole world is yours. That much good karma Duryodhana had. But unfortunately, he was using that good karma to do bad karma. And one more unfortunate thing for him was, he took enmity with those people who are Krishna's dear. That's why every time he tried to do something bad to Pandavas, they came out even more strong. Bhima was poisoned, thrown in the river. Unfortunately for Bhima, there at that time the Nagalokas, snakes, they came and they bit. So poison was taken away by poison and he became even more strong. And he came back and then they were sent to Lakshagraha where they were tried to be burnt alive. They escaped from there and then they remained incognito for some time. They actually took the Swayamvar of Draupadi where Arjuna won Draupadi, and now they were not orphans, 5 orphans who are helpless. Now they were allies of Drupada, one more stronger king. So every time Duryodhana tried to do something wrong to Pandavas, because they are connected to Krishna, they came out even more strong. Now, of this 4, which is the best? First one. Effective, yeah. Which is the worst?
Third one.
Third one. Self-destructive? All destructive. See,
Past bad and present bad.
Past bad and present bad. Which means past karma is bad. So you are trying to do something bad in this life also. It's not getting successful. At least you are facing further failures. But imagine past karma is very good, and in this life you decided to do bad. You, at least in the third case, you are going to hell. Whereas in the fourth case, you are taking everybody to hell with you. Right. So that's why, okay, now for us, when we are living in this world, forget about these examples now, in our case, which 2 quadrants are good? Or should we choose to be in?
First and second.
First, second, third, fourth. Let us see how it is.
1 and 2.
1 and 2. Which means what? Regardless of our past karma is good or bad, I will now do good karma. If that you understood, then this whole diagram may be successful. Some of you may be thinking, प्रभु जी क्या ये सब खत्म करके आ गया है, तो सोचा था कि नहीं देखना पड़ेगा ये सब ग्राफ वगैरह, फिर से दिखा दिया आपने. So focus on your dharma than the past life's dharma. That's the one line focus. Even if you say प्रभु जी बहुत complicated है, सब समझ में नहीं आया, this is the conclusion of the whole discussion. Okay? Now comes bhakti. How does bhakti play a role in all of this? So the whole math I showed, past karma is equal to plus present karma is equal to result. Entire mathematics changes the moment we take to Krishna consciousness. forget about pure devotees. Unka to, that's the reason I said, although the example was given there, Vidura and Pandavas, they had no past bad karma. I'll just end it. So they, it's fine. So they didn't have any past bad karma. If you see when they win the war and they go to Bhishma, Bhishma cries tears and says, Aho Kashtam, Aho Anyayam Medyunam Drapanandana. He says, only because of time you people suffered. It is not because of your past bad karma. Similarly, when Lord Ram came, his wife was stolen. If you see Ram from a material perspective, ordinary person, people say, maybe Ram did some bad in past karma. He is Supreme Lord, Baba, why, what past karma he has? Right. So, when we take to Krishna consciousness, what happens? Pure devotee is a different case. Okay? Krishna personally orchestrates. The same Parikshit Maharaj, who could not control his senses for water for 2 minutes, when he was cursed, he goes to the bank of Ganga, 7 days, 7 nights, no water, no food. Isn't it? So, which means activities of pure devotees are controlled fully by Krishna. Now coming to the glorious Kali Yuga souls who are taking to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada was giving the first initiation of ISKCON. First initiation of ISKCON happened in New York. Second time first initiation happened in San Francisco. After the initiation, Prabhupada gave a class. In that class, Prabhupada said, now that you have given the reins of your life, of chariot of your life in Krishna's hands, whatever happens in your life, there is no need to be disappointed. There is no need to lament. Which means what? Say you are working in a IT company. Okay? And you are in a hierarchy, big companies then. You have a boss, he has his boss, and he has his boss, and finally you have a CEO. That is a hierarchy. You are working in an IT company. Suddenly one day you are working and you get some brilliant idea. And you develop some new technology altogether, which is going to change, like AI was deployed in 2021 by ChatGPT, something like that you have discovered now. And your boss sees that and sees amazing work. He tells his boss, and CEO gets to know. And CEO is a visionary. He says, amazing, who came up with this idea? You came up with this idea, come to my cabin. He takes you to his cabin and says, from now your salary 3 times increased. Car from my side, home, rent, everything will pay. Just continue working on this product. And you are going to report directly to me. This is what happens when we take to Krishna consciousness. Before Krishna consciousness, we had our karma. Prarabdha karma was there. Some amount of suffering was supposed to come in our this life. Something has already come, our body structure and everything, our way we are born and everything. And probably the karma was so big that 10-15 lifetimes more we had to take. And then further in that life make further karma and extend our stay in the material world. The moment you take to Krishna consciousness, we are directly reported to Krishna now. Because Krishna is not accessible to us, Guru comes and says, I'll represent him. No problem. I'll take all your past bad karma, especially if you are initiated. I will guide this person. Now, our entire karma is in Krishna's hands. If Krishna sees he's very sincere, very serious, then okay. 4-5 crises, accident was supposed to happen in his life, not required. Purpose was that to come to me. Why should he suffer, go through that now? Okay, one small cut, you are cutting sabji in the kitchen, ungli cut gaya. Gala katne wala tha. Ungli cut gaya, theek hai. It happened with Shyam Sundar Prabhu. He came to Prabhupada, early ISKCON days, said, Prabhupada, I'm going to jail. I said, what? He said, yes, actually, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to do drug peddling. Drugs, cocaine and everything. So Prabhupada said, even I used to sell drugs, Prague pharmacy. I was a druggist. Then he felt a little passive actually. Prabhupada was judging me. Said, so I'm going to jail, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, no problem, Krishna also was born in jail only. So don't be disheartened. Chant Hare Krishna and they will release you. So actually he was supposed to be in jail for 3 years. In 6 months they released him. Nobody knows what was the math. What actually happened. Jailer came and said, your bail has been granted, you can leave. Case has been dismissed. And from there he came to India, London first. And from there he came to India, set up the Pandal program, and then the whole ISKCON expanded because of it. So when we take to Krishna consciousness, Krishna decides what will happen in our life. We may go to similar, like when this example I gave you, you go to the same company, same building you are working, same cubicle you are sitting and working, but whom are you reporting to? Krishna. Your boss, his boss, HR, nobody matters now. You do work from home, as long as that CEO is in good books of yours, you can do whatever you want. Come at whatever, punch in whatever time, go early, come early, in the office you are working, vacation you are doing work. कहाँ पे हो? गोवा में हूँ मैं. Vacation करते करते काम कर रहा हूँ. Manager cannot do anything. Why? CEO has said, okay, no problem. The same thing happens with respect to Krishna consciousness also. If the CEO sees, बहुत पैसा दे रहा है, बहुत money I'm giving him, and he's become a little complacent, काम नहीं, he's not reaching his deadlines, he'll call you in the office and blast you also. Similarly, in devotee's life, devotees also sometimes may go through some crisis, some accidents, some challenges. But because they are practicing Krishna consciousness, it is a totally different mathematics. You cannot say that devotee also suffering from the past karma. Devotee feels like that about himself. But we never tell devotees, Prabhu, you are suffering from the past life's karma. Right? We should never weaponize like that. Okay? I'll just end with one last pastime which explains this. In South India, there was one devotee called Vipranarayan. He's an exalted soul, very exalted soul. And he had a house and a small garden. And this is his Srirangam. So every day he would do gardening and then he'd take flowers and he would go to temple. In his house also there was deities. So in that village, there were two prostitutes. And one of them was extremely beautiful. So they both had a bet. They both had an argument and they had a bet. They said, who's more beautiful? Who can attract more? Kisko phasa sakte hain? The more you attract someone, that means you are that much more beautiful. So then while they were arguing, they came to a bet. One of them said that, I will make that Vipranarayan run behind me. She said, what are you talking about? He's an exalted soul. Right? I don't think that's possible. Bet. Okay, they put the bet. And then every day, from that day onwards, next day, every day she will go and do service in the garden. Every day. Without asking, she will not even talk to Vipranarayan. Vipranarayan is like, some Mataji has come and she's serving. So every day she'll come, and naturally after 2-3 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you also notice that someone is coming and doing service every day. Then they started talking, but he was very respectful. One day when she was doing the service, it rained very heavily, and she was fully drenched. And she said, "I'll go now." He felt sorry for her. He said, "You already drenched and raining, and you've been serving so sincerely. Spend some time here. Once rain goes down, you can go." So she went into the house, and he was there. Small house was there, and then there she started using her moves. She was anyway wet also. So then at that point in time, Vipranarayan's consciousness got contaminated, and she didn't do anything. She just stayed there for some time, and then she went away. But here, dhyayato vishayantum sakta sangastishu pajayate. And Vipranarayan now was waiting for next day. She stopped coming from next day onwards. And his mind got agitated. Why she didn't come? Why she didn't come? Why she didn't come? And finally he went and he was sitting outside her house. Please open the door. Please open the door. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And everyone is watching her. What happened to Vipranarayan? Such an exalted devotee, and now he's doing this. And she won the bet. That time outside one Pallaki, one Sri Rangam's, the Ranganath's Utsav was going on. So Lakshmi ji and Ranganath. Lakshmi ji said, "What happened to your devotee? What are you doing? You are supposed to protect." Bhagavad Gita आप ही ने बोला ना, कौते या प्रतिजानी नमे भक्ता प्रणश. Your bhakta is in trouble now. Why has he lost his senses and mind and control? So he says, wait. I have some plan, na? I have some plan. Let it get completed. So he was sitting outside there, and finally he went back to his home, and everyone was like, what happened to this Vipranarayan? And one fine day, Pujari in Pujari's home, in Srirangam temple, the golden plate was missing. And they got to know, some news they got to know, that this plate is in Vipranarayan's home. You search his house, you'll get it there. And they searched and they got the plate. They said, Vipranarayan, first you were lusty and now you are thief also. They put him in jail. And he's in jail now, and again when the Utsav Murti is going on, Lakshmi says, what is your plan? First he was out of senses and mind control, now he's in jail also. Then Ranganath tells, actually he is a pure devotee, exalted devotee. Some small amount of karma was remaining. Some realization I wanted to give him. That's why he had to go through this phase. Don't worry, very soon he will be released. So that night, Ranganath came in the king's dream and said, he is my devotee, release him. Then he was released. Then Vipranarayan came to his senses. He said, after that onwards, any Vaishnava would come to his house, wash his feet. We have seen that, sannyasis we wash the feet. And fully drink that water. Not one drop he would drop. And he had said, only through devotees, Vaishnavas mercy only we can practice Krishna consciousness, not otherwise. Then he went back to God. Right? So this is an example where Krishna feels okay, some realizations you need. You may not be able to understand it also. Something is required, so then Krishna gives it and we accept it as Krishna's mercy anyway. So to summarize the whole discussion, initially we discussed ethical crisis, moral crisis. Ethical crisis is two right things are there, you have to choose between the two. Moral crisis is very simple. Should I go for, say for example, you had a crisis now. Should I go to a nightclub or should I go to ISKCON temple? It's very clear, there is no doubt there. Moral crisis, okay, I should be doing the right thing. Ethical crisis means what? Prabhuji, I have a relative's marriage and a program also that day on Sunday. What do I do? That's ethical crisis, both are right. Then you talk to your senior, you take the guidance from Prabhuji and you move on. Action and inaction are two simple categories, but they are not. There are 6 categories which we discussed. Action have 3 things. What? Vikarma, Sakarma and Akarma. Renunciation has or inaction has 3 categories. First is it is not possible to do inaction. Second, false renunciation. Next is true renunciation. Which one does Krishna suggest Arjuna to do?
Akarma.
Akarma. Yes. Why not true renunciation?
Not possible.
It is not possible for him. Right? He is a Kshatriya, he has a lot of passion. You do akarma. Karmanyavadi. Then we saw Krishna's expertise as a teacher, how we explained it. So what is the focus of karma? Our actions matter even if they don't seem to matter. Then we discussed on that 4 table we saw. That complex graph. Conclusion of the graph was regardless of our past karma, focus on doing our present dharma. And we also discussed how does the bhakti change the entire dynamics of karma. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So I don't know if you have time for question answers. Prabhuji will take it forward.